Example 1 factor. In this example, we have two expressions that are actually perfect square trinomials. We can recognize perfect square trinomials because they have three terms, and the outside terms are perfect square terms. But the most important condition is that the square roots of the outside terms, when multiplied and doubled, would equal the middle term. The sign doesn't matter. So for example, the square root of 4x squared here is 2x. The square root of 9 here is 3. 2x times 3 is 6x. When doubled, we get this middle term of 12x. To factor perfect square trinomials is very similar to differences of squares. You just have to take the square roots of the outside terms, and these square roots will appear in each bracket. Now the sign in each bracket will not be different. It will be the same. And you have to take the sign of the middle term in the original expression. So the factored form for part A would be 2x plus 3 times 2x plus 3, which alternatively can be written as 2x plus 3 squared. Let's look at part B. This is also a perfect square trinomial. Square root of 25x squared is 5x. Square root of 16 is 4. 5x times 4 is 20x. When double gives us 40x, the subtraction doesn't matter. So I did most of the work already. I got the two square roots, which will appear in each bracket. The sign, each bracket would have to be the subtraction. Or I can write it as 5x minus 4 squared. Let's look at 2. It says fully factor. So again, we should look for common factors first. 18x squared minus 24x plus 8. All three terms are divisible by 2, so I'm going to factor out a 2, leaving me with 9x squared minus 12x plus 4. Let's consider the expression here. I have three terms, 9x squared and 4, they're perfect square terms. Square root of 9x is 3x, square root of 4 is 2. 3x times 2 is 6x. When double gives us 12x, so this is a perfect square trinomial. The factored form, since I already found the square roots, would be 3x minus 2 times 3x minus 2, or I can write it as 2 times 3x minus 2 squared. Now for the last example, here we have negative 32c squared plus 48c minus 18. Greatest common factor that could be removed would be negative 2. Remember, if the first term starts with a negative, you have to factor that out. So I'm going to factor out a negative 2 and then divide every term by negative 2 to give me 16c squared minus 24c plus 9. Now considering the expression that's left, three terms, outside terms are perfect squares. 16c squared, when I take the square root, gives me 4c. Square root of 9 is 3. 4c times 3 is 12c. When double gives me 24c. So this is a perfect square trinomial. Then the factored form becomes negative 2 times 4c minus 3 times 4c minus 3, or negative 2 times 4c minus 3 squared.